introduce Ms. Leticia Estacio.
I guess it's my turn, guys.
With us, organizing on the ground. She is a lawyer, a real life attorney, y'all, out here in these streets with us, fighting for us, both on and off the court, on and off the streets. So it is my pleasure to introduce her. She's gonna drop some knowledge on us real quick. So please give her another round of applause.
Good afternoon, everybody. So my part of this presentation is the teach-in portion, and what we're talking about today specifically is the District Attorney's Office and why that office is so incredibly important when it comes to the prosecution disproportionately of Black and brown people in the city of Rochester and the surrounding counties. And when I thought about what I was going to say to you, I thought about a story. I don't know if you all know, but I actually used to work in the District Attorney's Office under Mike Green. And when I was a young DA, I hadn't been in the office for 2 years. I was upstairs at Calendar Call on the 8th floor, and Sandra Dorley just happened to walk into the bathroom with me. And she's not the DA at the time, right? But she's like the first assistant, so she's the man. And I am on the 3rd floor. I'm just a little kid. I don't know anything about anything. I'm terrified every day that I'm gonna lose my job, right? There's 3 Black people in the DA's office, and I'm like, how the hell did I even get this job in the first place? And she comes in and she says to me that there's an event later that day at Action for a Better Community, and she wants me to go. And I'm like, you want me to go? You don't even know my name. Like, why do you want me to go? It didn't dawn on me at the time that I was, again, one of the 3 Black people in the office. And when I went to the meeting, it was essentially about how the DA's office sucks. And it makes re-entry impossible, and it prosecutes Black people. And so I was the token, right, that went to go bear the brunt of that anger. But Sandy, who didn't even know my name at the time, didn't know that I had a master's in social work, and I actually had gone to the District Attorney's Office after considering the Public Defender's Office long and hard, because I knew that the DA's office was an office that could actually seek justice, right? They could decide not to pursue charges. They could decide to dismiss charges. They could do things that no other organization can do. They are more powerful in instances than judges, right? They control whether or not a crime is pled down from a felony to a misdemeanor to a violation. That's completely within the discretion of the District Attorney's Office. And I remember during that discussion that Sandy was saying to me in an annoyed way that she didn't want to go to this event because they were going to inevitably ask her why the jails were disproportionately filled with Black and brown people, and clearly it was because they committed more crimes. And I remember as a Black woman standing there and saying, wow, this is pretty horrible, but not being able to say anything because I felt unsafe in continuing to be employed if I would have tried to challenge her on that. And I was much more productive as a district attorney who could not think that way, right, than one who did. But I want you to think about that for a second. Despite the statistical evidence, despite the research, we currently have an elected district attorney who believes that Black and brown people are disproportionately incarcerated because they are more likely to be criminals. Do you see what a problem that is? We have a district attorney who changed to a Democrat just because we didn't elect Republican DAs in this county, and then gave us a big F you and changed back to a Republican, ran and won. And we let that happen. So when we have a conversation about what you're gonna do when you leave, it's not just talk, because this is our fault too. This woman never should have been able to get elected. We had a competent individual with 10 plus years from Atlanta who ran against her, a Black woman. And many people didn't even remotely consider her because she was a Black woman, wouldn't even take her literature, wouldn't even consider her. But the district attorney, if you remember when that incident happened, what was that fancy schmancy art gallery where the kids decided to get drunk, go in and throw tar off the roof? Artisan Works? They caused like $1 million worth of damage, and the RPD went and said, oh, there was no crime here. If those would have been Black kids, that would have been all types of felony crimes, and they'd have been looking at a state prison sentence. Those kids didn't even get charged. There's no way that you can disregard the type of disparity that you see happening here. And although it's unfortunate, I know a lot of you have gotten arrested because I represent some of you. I think for the first time, by getting arrested, you had an opportunity to see up close and impersonal what we are dealing with on a regular and consistent basis. When you throw your bodies in front of people and you see that suddenly the police stop shooting, or you see that suddenly they're not making arrests, you see what we deal with. And the boss of the police, we can say it's Mike Mazzeo, we can say it's whoever, but Sandy is the one who puts those cops on and off people. She's the one who decides what we do and don't prosecute. She's the one who's deciding right now that absolutely none of the charges will receive any type of reductions, and all of these cases have to go to trial. Let's say you hate protesters, Do you have any idea how much money you are spending on this waste of time while nobody has arrested these men that have murdered one of your citizens while your tax dollars are paying for it? If you're not angry, you're not paying attention.
Say that.
They've spent over $1 million shooting us with literal military-grade equipment. They've been shooting us. And now they're spending millions of dollars to prosecute us. But they haven't made arrests for these murderers yet. Still, we're still paying their salaries. I don't understand how any person in the world is not outraged by this. And I'm preaching to the choir because you guys are here. So what can you do? What are the action items? Is Sandy gonna resign? I doubt it. I think that she thinks that people like her more than they do, and she just ran and she just won. So she's got some support for that position, right? But there's absolutely no reason that she should win this office again. There's absolutely no reason that she should be able to disregard the masses the way that she has and seek re-election and be successful. There's absolutely no way that you shouldn't be having these conversations with everyone you know. The district attorney is only a 4-year position. I think she makes around $200,000 a year.
She did that? Mm-hmm.
And she's not remotely, quiet about it. She wears all her bags and she's fancy with it. Yeah, she got red, but she's fancy. That was like one of the things when you were in the DA's office. You had to tell Sandy her shoes were cute, or you wouldn't get promoted.
Fucking serious.
Like, these are the types of things that you're dealing with. Like, you think everybody has these ideas. I remember arguing with people all the time. They would say, "Well, judges don't," and I would say, "Well, I'm still a judge, so judges do." You guys, you're electing human beings. I don't know who you think you're electing. These are just normal humans. Some humans suck. They're elected officials too. Mm-hmm. And when you find out that you elected a human official that sucks, you gotta replace them. You can't say, "Oh, well, DAs don't." No, DAs do. You just don't know them in real life. Mm-hmm. They do all of the same stuff you do. So, I think that when someone shows you who they are, you're supposed to believe them, right? And I think that our district attorney and her minions, RPD, MCSO, New York State Police, all of them have shown us very clearly who they are. There is their side and there is our side. There are two different sides, but be clear. They work for us. So if they're not doing what we want them to do, then they don't have jobs. It's just that simple. It's not our side, their side, our side, their side.
Can we turn it off? Hold on one
We have to
second.
praise the Lord, y'all. I don't know what happened. I think like they're telling me to shut up and be done.
No, hold on. Can we turn it down? I know, but thank you.
Thank you. So guys, I don't want to stand in the way of praise and worship, and I know that they had stuff going on here. Most of what I wanted to say to you has been said. The district attorney literally only sits for 4 years. So it's an office that is currently seeking re-election. When Sandy tells you that she's not dropping the charges and she's not doing these things, it's because she does not value your vote. It's because she does not see you as an actual credible threat to her re-election. She's saying she doesn't care if you sleep at City Hall. She doesn't care if you get shot by police. She ain't worried about you. You need to let everyone know that they have something to be worried about. When they collectively disregard thousands of us marching and getting shot in the streets, they need to know that there are thousands of us at home that are willing to stand up with us. And I need you to make sure you go back and talk to every single one of those people. Share this message, share this message, share this message, because the people united
Will never be defeated.